Spencer Dutton, Brandon Sklenar, already looks like he'll be a better father than John III. Kevin Costner was in Yellowstone, and 1923 Season 2 has already proven that. By the end of 1923 Season 2, Spencer Dutton has become a father to his and Alexandra's, Julia Schlaepfer, son, John II. Unfortunately, since Alexandra died of complications from her frostbite, Spencer's going to have to raise John II mostly on his own. The Yellowstone spin-off series only had time to show Spencer caring for John II for a few minutes, but it already looks like he's going to be a good dad. While there won't be another season of 1923, Spencer could still show up in a different upcoming Yellowstone spin-off. Taylor Sheridan does have plans for another prequel show titled 1944, which is only 20 years later. Spencer could easily pop up in that, and we could get a first-hand look at his relationship with John II. Luckily, we already have a pretty good idea of how good of a father Spencer will be thanks to 1923 itself. At the very least, Spencer is already shaping up to be a better father than Kevin Costner's John III was to Lee, Case, Beth, and Jamie. 1923's finale hints Spencer would be a better father than Kevin Costner's John Dutton. Spencer was already great with someone else's son, so he should be a good father to his own. Spencer Dutton, Brandon Sklenar, talking to a young boy on a train in 1923 Season 2, Episode 7. Even before he became a father, 1923 proved that Spencer had what it takes to be a good dad. On the train to Livingston, before he saw Alexandra in the cold, Spencer met a young boy who wanted to trade a pocket knife for his lion's tooth. While interacting with the boy, Spencer proved that he could treat children with attention, care, and genuine interest. Spencer answered all of his questions earnestly and honestly. He told him some truths about the world with a lot of respect, and he even got swindled by the boy and let him have the tooth. It's not a guarantee that Spencer will be a perfect father, but the fact that he's already so demonstrably good with children is a sign that he won't be terrible. Another great sign is Spencer's reaction at hearing that Alexandra was pregnant. Spencer clearly wanted a son like John II in his life, and he clearly has at least some of the skills necessary to be a good father. On top of it all, John II is the only thing Spencer has left of Alexandra, which should make him even more fond of his son. John Dutton was a famously bad father in Yellowstone. John Dutton III was cruel, harsh, and distant for his children and only got better at the end of his life. The bar for Spencer surpassing John III in terms of fatherhood is astonishingly low. In fact, a big part of Yellowstone was dedicated to displaying that John III was an awful dad in a wide variety of categories. He's the reason Case was estranged from the rest of the family, the reason Jamie was so insecure, and the reason Beth was so emotionally damaged and had such a hard time opening up to Rip. There are countless examples of how bad of a father John III was. He abused them physically and emotionally, he lied to them, and he prioritized the ranch above their needs at every opportunity. The only time John III was ever shown as a good father figure instead of an absolute menace was with his grandson, Tate. By then, however, John III was well into his 60s, and age had softened his approach to children. As long as Spencer doesn't terrorize his child and treat him with contempt and cruelty every chance he gets, he'll be a better father than his grandson proved to be. Spencer has help raising Alex's son from Jacob and Cara Dutton. Jacob and Cara can give John II attention and care while Spencer is running the ranch. Spencer's fatherly qualities aren't the only things the young John Dutton II has going for him, either. At least for the earliest parts of his life, John II will be partially raised by Jacob, Harrison Ford, and Cara Dutton, Helen Mirren. They've already proven themselves to be good caretakers who deeply loved their nephews, and they treated them well enough for both Spencer and Jack, Darren Mann, to deeply care about them in turn. Additionally, Jacob mentioned that he's retiring from the rancher's life, which means John II will have a mother and father figure at all times, even when Spencer is out on the range. Jacob and Cara, however, were in their 80s already by the time John II was born, so he won't have that steady source of care and compassion for his entire childhood. Elsa Dutton's narration also revealed that Spencer never remarried, and he only had a relationship with a widow to keep him company. Depending upon when Cara and Jacob die, John II's early childhood may still turn out somewhat bad. Spencer will have to spend countless hours on horseback tending to the Yellowstone. In that way, even 1923's rare glimmer of hope has a storm cloud alongside it.